Hello again. Before we go on, there's just time to mention that our title music is Country Rock Polka, composed by Pat Prilly, Fernand Bouillon and Harry Breur. It's performed by Jean-Jacques Perret, who's kindly given his permission for us to use it. Now here's Elizabeth with the first sports item.
This is hockey. Southgate climbed off the foot of the Premier Division of the NOW Pensions Men's Hockey League, heading into the final weekend of the regular season, despite suffering a 2-0 defeat at Cannock on Sunday the 8th. Although 2 goals from Peter Jackson inside the first 20 minutes were enough to give the points to the hosts, Canterbury crushing 9-4 defeat at the hands of East Grinstead saw them replace Southgate at the bottom on goal difference. Southgate now face a pivotal double bill of league action over the weekend as they entertain 8th-placed Hampstead and Westminster, 3 points above them, with a superior goal difference, but having played a game more on Saturday the 14th before playing host to Canterbury on the following Sunday. Victory over Hampstead should leave Southgate needing a point against Canterbury to guarantee their place in the top flight for another year.
And some football. Enfield Town once again displayed their liking for taking on the leading sides in the Ryman Premier Division as they secured a hugely impressive 3-0 victory at second place Margate on Saturday the 7th. Second half goals from Corey Whiteley, Bobby Devine and Ricky Gabriel saw Town complete a notable double over Margate as they recorded their 5th victory of the season in 7 matches against sides currently in the top 4. Enfield Town entertain Leatherhead on Saturday the 14th and go to Witham Town on the following Tuesday. And Enfield 1893 produced a fine performance to romp to a 4-1 victory over Newham in the Essex Senior League on Tuesday the 10th. The match was officially a home game for Newham, but ongoing problems with their pitch led it to being switched to the Ease Barrows Farm ground. Saturday the 7th had seen Enfield 1893 put up a brave fight before losing 1-0 at high-flying Haringey Borough in a controversial clash which saw them finish with just 8 men. The Ease had conceded 10 times when the two sides met earlier in the season, but they gave a much better account of themselves on this occasion, even though they had a player dismissed after just 18 minutes. Despite this, the visitors more than held their own and looked as if they would escape with a point until Rakeem Richards headed home the only goal in the dying moments. The match then came to an ugly conclusion as injury time saw a further 3 red cards being produced, 2 of them to the Ease. And another excellent week for Brimsdown saw them claim 2 more victories in Spartan League Division 2 to extend their unbeaten run to 17 matches. Brimsdown romped to an emphatic 7-3 triumph at home to Wolverton on Saturday the 7th, but they were given a far sterner test when they entertained Aston Clinton on Tuesday the 10th as they battled to a 2-1 victory. Brimsdown host Old Bradwell United on Saturday the 14th.
Former England captain Mike Gattin is urging the community to lend a helping hand at Enfield Cricket Club later this month. The Middlesex League Club is one of more than 2,000 across the country who have registered to take part in the 14th annual NatWest Cricket Force event taking place between March 27th to 29th, where club members and volunteers come together to clean, tidy, repair and revitalise clubhouses and club grounds ahead of the new season. A former player at Enfield Cricket Club, Gattin, who is the Managing Director of Cricket Partnerships at the England and Wales Cricket Board, believes that the work done during the event can really help to boost the club. NatWest Cricket Force is an ECB project helping cricket clubs renovate and improve their facilities before each season with the help of members and their wider communities.
Rugby. Enfield Ignatians were ultimately outplayed by table-topping Chelmsford as they suffered a 34-0 defeat in Rugby Union's London Division 2 North East on Saturday the 7th. Visiting Ignatians repeatedly frustrated Chelmsford during the first half, which only saw a single penalty from the hosts. But Chelmsford, despite playing up the slope, piled on the pressure in the second period and ran in 5 tries to cruise to victory. We played some very clever rugby in the first half, and Jet Mazzeri was outstanding for us, said coach Emil Hertz. I thought that we had a really good chance to win the game in the second half, but we hardly saw the ball and conceded 5 tries. Enfield Ignatians host Hammersmith and Fulham in the semi-finals of the Middlesex Cup at Donkey Lane on Saturday the 14th. Saracens displayed real strength of character to overturn an early deficit and secure a crucial 26-17 victory at Wasps on Sunday the 8th. Sarries have struggled to find their best form on their travels for much of this season, and they look to be in severe danger of suffering a defeat which would have seen them slip to 6th in the table when they fell 17-3 behind inside the first 15 minutes. But the visitors recovered from their slow start in fine style by scoring 23 unanswered points during the rest of the match to condemn Wasps to their first home defeat of the season and leave them lying in 3rd place with 5 matches remaining. Saracens have confirmed their second new signing in as many weeks after revealing that South African forward Michael Rhodes will be joining them next season. Last week saw the Aviva Premiership outfit complete a deal to bring Fijian-born Italian international back row forward Samuela Vunisa to the club, and Sarries have further bolstered their pack by securing the services of Rhodes. Saracens entertain Northampton in the semi-finals of the LV Cup on Saturday the 14th.
This is athletics. Chijinder Ujar suffered bitter disappointment at the European Indoor Athletics Championships in Prague over the weekend as he suffered the anguish of being disqualified for a full start in the final of the men's 60 metres. The sprinter from Enfield and Haringey Athletic Club was hotly tipped to win a medal after being the second fastest qualifier for the final, clocking a time of 6.57 seconds to claim top spot in his semi-final. However, competing in his first senior international final, Ujar broke from his blocks too quickly and was kicked out of a race which was won by fellow Briton Richard Kilty, and I have to say I feel very sorry for him. Shame.
Yeah. A footballer from Enfield won the chance to train with stars from the top flight of the women's game in England. Kaylee Conrad was in the Kingston University ladies team, who won a nationwide search launched by Chelsea's sponsor Gazprom for an amateur team to join the Women's Super League side to mark International Women's Day. The 21-year-old, who studies law with business, took to the pitch at the Blues Surrey base in Cobham on Sunday with her teammates and was given an insight into what it takes to become a top player. The session was overseen by players including former England international Gemma Davison and Chelsea ladies manager Emma Hayes, who was impressed by Kaylee's skills. All the Kingston girls were fantastic, and I hope Kaylee got a lot out of the day, she said. They came with a brilliant attitude, and we certainly enjoy hosting days like that. I wanted to get across to her how many opportunities there are in sports for women now. It's great that Chelsea and Gazprom have given this amateur women's team such a great opportunity. It was a really good way to celebrate International Women's Day and women's football in general. To win the session, the university team had impressed with their application, dedication and desire. Kaylee said, "It was absolutely fantastic and I had such a good time meeting the players and getting to learn a bit about professional football from them. They play at the highest level, but were so down to earth and happy to chat and have a kick around with us."
I think that's the end of the sports. On a different note, a teenager will be sponsored by an optician's after completing a successful apprenticeship. Amber Murtaz was the first apprentice at Scrivens Opticians and Hearing Care in Enfield Town under the firm's National Apprenticeship Scheme. The 19-year-old joined Scrivens in November 13 to study an apprenticeship in business and administration after her A-levels. After completing her apprenticeship and gaining a Level 3 diploma, she successfully applied to take the part-time ophthalmic dispensing course at City and Islington College with sponsorship from Scrivens. Miss Murtag said, "The training at Scrivens has provided the platform for me to start my career in this profession. I have been given great support and encouragement, and the course is going well. I appreciate the help I have been given, and I'm looking forward to furthering my career. The apprenticeship was the right option for me. I was quite shy before, but working here has given me more confidence. I intend to work hard and take up the opportunities that come my way. May Healy of Scriven's regional team said, "Amber was the first apprentice we have taken on, and she has been an ideal candidate. She has applied herself and achieved and exceeded all the targets set. We are confident she has a promising career ahead of her."
School children took inspiration from their favourite book characters for their World Book Day fancy dress costumes. Pupils from George Spicer Primary School in Ladysmith Road, Enfield, also hosted a book swap day in which they could exchange their books with each other. In an action-packed day, pupils in Year 2 and 3 heard from author Keith Tilbury, who wrote The Wizard of Is, that's not a misprint, and Years 4, 5 and 6 took part in a workshop with writer Kath Howe, who wrote The Curse of the Highwayman and The Highwayman's Revenge. Head teacher Hilary Ballantyne said, "We have celebrated World Book Day for the past few years, but by having authors come in and holding a book swap showed how much the children enjoy reading. Reading has been an essential part of the curriculum. Our results are very good, and World Book Day is another way of celebrating that. Whether a child is picking up a book or playing a computer game, reading affects us every day, and that's why we're putting a lot of time into World Book Day."
Campaigners desperate to protect an historic pub from falling victim to developers fear that their efforts have been in vain after it emerged the site's new owners could be planning to transform the watering hole into a bric-a-brac shop. Mike McLean, 43 of Winchmore Hill, started up a petition on the 38 Degrees website last month after the former owners of the Green Dragon in Green Lanes, Winchmore Hill, sold off the pub and Thai restaurant to a development and investment company. Although the number of signatures on the petition has almost broken the 4,000 mark, when Mike looked in through the windows of the abandoned pub last week, he was shocked to see shelves lined with bric-a-brac and general household products. We've been focusing on getting the site accredited as an asset of community value, which would mean developers could not just turn it into the most lucrative way of making money, he told the advertiser. But when I saw that it looked like the developers might be trying to turn it into a short-term pop-up shop, I was shocked. It's not what the area needs at all. The campaign group is now lobbying councillors to get on side with the fight to keep the landmark Tudor-style building on the corner of Green Lanes and Vickersmoor Lane as a pub, as it has been for the past 300 years. David Barrows has been helping us out and has tried to get a meeting with the new owners of the site, but at the moment they have not committed to anything, Mike said. The pub was sold by Enterprise Inns earlier this year, and according to Mike, a company called Green Lanes Investment LLP has taken over the freehold. However, when the advertiser tried to contact the new owners, they were not known at the address listed as their registered office, and board members of the company PPR Estates would not confirm their involvement in the company at all. To us it seems as if it's all been quite underhand. It's all been done without the community's knowledge or involvement, Mike said. My wife has been a huge help to me with this campaign, but we're just an ordinary couple with a young family. We don't have the resources to battle against a big developer. In a bid to galvanise everyone in Winchmore Hill against losing the pub for good, Mike is urging people to sign the petition on u.38degrees.org.uk/petitions/Save the Green Dragon Winchmore Hill.
A pop-up university will be created using a £20,000 donation by Mayor of London Boris Johnson. The Enfield Thinks scheme from Birkbeck University will turn an empty shop into a pop-up university, providing workshops, lectures and debates, and giving learning opportunities. The grant is part of a £9 million investment by the Mayor of London in 42 high streets in the capital. Mr. Johnson said, "The imagination, enterprise and creativity of Londoners has shone through in the array of ideas that were put forward to the High Street Fund. London's high streets are no longer about retail alone, and I'm thrilled to be supporting projects that seek to diversify and unlock opportunities in our most prized urban assets." Enfield North MP Nick Dubois said, "I'm delighted that we have won this money from the Mayor of London. Along with the government's reduction in business rates for small shops and the reduction in employers' national insurance, we are providing tangible help to sustain our high streets. This welcome boost from the Mayor is another big step in the right direction." Joanne Laban, who represents Town Ward on Enfield Borough Council, added, "I'm pleased that the Conservative Mayor of London has awarded High Street Fund money to a project in Enfield Town. Enfield Town missed out on money for riot-hit areas because the Labour Council decided to put that money into the market gardening project that has yet to prove itself. So this money to boost the town is welcomed."
A young dancer has made her West End debut in the hit show Billy Elliot the Musical. 10-year-old Lily Mae Stewart took to the stage at the Victoria Palace Theatre on Monday. She's playing the role of Margaret Gormley, who goes to a dance school. The show is based on the 2000 film and has won 4 Olivier Awards since its West End premiere in 2005. The music is by Elton John. Lily Mae will be performing in 3 shows a week for the next few months and will also be attending her lessons at St Michael's Primary School in Brigadier Hill. She has been fitting her schoolwork in around schedules and reading schoolwork on the tube during her journeys to the theatre in Victoria. Her mother, Sabie Stewart from Oakwood, said, "She's been dancing since she was 3 and she is very busy. She attends several dance schools and a gym class. She's very excited about appearing in Billy Elliot. She's really loving it. She loves performing." Last year, Lily Mae won the Mayor of Enfield's Public Speaking Award, talking about the need to teach dance and drama in every secondary school. She has also appeared in a video with singer Michael Bublé.
Concerned parents have branded motorists' behaviour at a busy Enfield zebra crossing as a danger to pedestrians. Joe and Jojo Bailey have called for improvements to the crossing after getting fed up with motorists failing to stop, even when pedestrians were already making their way across Baker Street. In one incident, they said a bus continued driving over the crossing, even though they were trying to cross the road with their 2-year-old twin boys. They claim that the driver made a rude gesture and have reported the incident to Transport for London, which is investigating. Mr. Bailey said he's concerned about the crossing and has witnessed vehicles failing to stop for pedestrians. He said Baker Street is a treacherous road. The road is too fast and too dangerous. Vehicles of all nature regularly seem to speed along Baker Street and fail to stop for pedestrians at the crossing. He added, "There are several schools, an old people's home and shops either side of the road. This crossing is an accident or death waiting to happen. It's one of the most dangerous crossings that I have encountered." His wife said, "It's very dangerous. Something needs to be done before there's an accident. It's bound to be a child, as there are schools in the area." Mr. Bailey proposes changing the crossing, perhaps by raising it. Pardon me. "If it was raised, people would have to slow down," he added. Motorists who fail to stop for pedestrians who are on zebra crossings face 3 penalty points on their licence and a fine. Mr. Bailey welcomed the idea of a police campaign, but said it would only slow drivers down while officers were present. The couple have contacted Enfield North MP Nick Dubois about his concerns and raised them with Mayor of London. Raised them with Mayor of London's Boris Johnson's office and Enfield Council. Ken Davidson, head of bus operations at TfL, said, "The safety of our customers and other road users is our top priority, and we expect every bus driver to carry out their duties in a professional and attentive manner at all times." A I'm being passed a sweet here, you'll be glad to know. A Metroline spokesman said that the bus company took safety seriously and confirmed it was investigating the Bailey's complaint.
I'm really interested in this article because it's about the Arctic convoy, and my uncle, who died about 4 weeks ago now, was in the Arctic convoy. So he obviously was one of the lucky ones, and very brave, but lucky that he survived. This is the article. A veteran who sailed in the Arctic convoys during the Second World War has been remembered as an inspiration and true hero. Frederick Thompson, known as Tom, died on February the 13th at the age of 94. My uncle, incidentally, was 96. He was behind the Arctic Convoy Remembrance Campaign to commemorate those who fought in the Arctic convoys, which helped deliver supplies to Russia during the Second World War. Mr. Thompson was awarded the Russian Yuzakov Medal by Russian attaché Captain Oleg Kornenko in November 2014 for his bravery as a signalman in the North Atlantic. The convoy route was described by Sir Winston Churchill as the worst journey in the world. Paying tribute to the veteran who died in the Whittington Hospital, Enfield, MP David Burrows said, "Tom was an inspiration and a true hero. He and his fellow seamen braved the Arctic conditions and the dangers of German submarines and U-boats to deliver vital supplies to the Russian army. It was too long before he and other veterans got the recognition and medals they so richly deserved. I'm pleased that the remembrance events in Enfield, which he inspired me to initiate, he was able to formally receive both the Arctic Star and the Yuzakov. We will continue in Enfield to remember him and his brave seaman colleagues who sacrificed so much for our freedoms."
A series of free guided walks through a country park will begin later this month. 10 different walks through Trent Park Cockfosters will take place between March and October. Black Rainbow, which organised the events with Friends of Trent Park, was given money from the Enfield Residents Priority Fund to continue the walks this year. Alan Metellus, walk leader and director of Black Rainbow events, said, "The beauty of these walks is not only that they are free, but they bring a whole host of interesting subjects together in a really accessible way. Trent Park has a wealth of history, much of it relatively recent, and it also is home to some fascinating wildlife. The walks are not only informative, but are an excellent way to make the most of the outdoors in Enfield's largest park. We have made our walks programme varied, so there is something for everyone. Make a date to attend one of our walks or all of them. We look forward to helping people discover what this beautiful country park has to offer. The first walk will take place on Sunday, March the 29th.
People finally have an excuse to stay in their pyjamas and even snap a photo of themselves to raise money for a hospice. Staff at the North London Hospice in Woodside Avenue, Finchley, and Barrowell Green, Winchmore Hill are going pyjamas to garner more donations. From March 16th to 22nd, they are asking people to dress in their pyjamas, onesies and slippers and take selfies before making a donation to raise money for new specially equipped beds at the hospital. Healthcare assistant Sally Townsend said, "We want to make our patients' experience as comfortable as possible, and these beds will make a real difference for them. One patient has been enjoying a trial bed, and everyone has been commenting on how much difference it makes for both the patient and the nurses. The beds, which cost $2,000 each, will give patients extra mobility, independence and comfort. The money raised will also allow the hospice to purchase specialist pillows, duvets and blankets for the beds. So far, 20 toddler groups, corporate partners, local businesses, schools and sports groups have pledged their support for the campaign. Filomeno Kodromou, communication manager at the hospice, said, "We want anyone and everyone to get involved. The more people, the better. The hospice needs to raise at least $36,000 for all its inpatients to have the level of treatment required. So far, they have raised $14,000. To take part, share a photo using the hashtag number #FundABed on Twitter and Facebook and make a donation to the hospice by texting BEDS 153 pounds to 70070. For more information, call 020 8343 8841 or visit facebook.com/North London Hospital, all one word, or follow at North London Hospice on Twitter.
Council bosses are hunting for an architect to work on the next stage of plans for a £1.5 billion redevelopment. Enfield Borough Council says the Meridian Water Scheme will create up to 8,420 new homes, 3,000 new jobs, public transport links and infrastructure including schools, shops and a police station. The local authority is now looking for an architect to take on the next level of designs. Conservative opposition leader, Councillor Terry Neville, last week criticised the Council's progress on the master plan for the housing development, the largest in London, which had not yet been listed as a housing zone. Cabinet Member for Housing and Estate Renewal, Councillor Ahmet Oykner, said the Council is currently putting together an expert team, including architects and planners, to drive the delivery of Meridian Water, and this work will guide the final shape of this exciting £1.5 billion development. We previously worked with architects to prepare the master plan for the development and with planners to prepare the area action plan. But a new team is now required to forge ahead with this project. George Osborne and Boris Johnson visited the site in June 2014 to give their support to measures to simplify planning regulations, yet the site has not been listed as a housing zone in the first round of announcements.
A cancer support centre is calling on all women to attend an Ovarian Cancer Information Day. March is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in the UK, and Nightingale Cancer Support Centre will be hosting the event on March the 27th at Enfield Town Library in Church Street, Enfield. Clinical nurse specialist Marion Hopkins said, "We know that people locally are affected by this disease. The pathway for patients can be complicated and confusing, and we want them to know about the help and support available through Nightingale. To attend, 020 8366 433.
Well, we've reached the end of our programme for this week. Don't forget, your reader's representative, Diane de Jersey, is on 020 8805 6578 if you need any help with the talking newspaper. And please remember to turn over the address label in your postal packet, put the cassette into the packet and return it to us as soon as possible so we can send out the next edition. And that will be with you in 1 week's time. Thanks for being with us. From me, Malcolm, Elizabeth, Katherin, Evan and Ian, goodbye.
Bye.